You wake up in a bizarre dystopia in Russia. The ceiling is too close. That's the first thing you notice. Concrete pressing down exactly 7 feet above the narrow bed where you lie. Close enough that you could reach up and trace the spiraling patterns etched into its surface. Patterns you don't remember carving. Patterns that seem to shift when you blink. Your apartment is a tube. 15 feet long, 8 feet wide, carved directly into the rock beneath what used to be Moscow. The walls curve inward like a throat. There's a small kitchen alcove where the ceiling dips to 6 feet. A bathroom no bigger than a coffin stood on end. A single bulb that never turns off, encased in wire mesh, humming a frequency that makes your teeth ache. You've been here for 3 months. Or has it been 3 years? Time moves differently in the tunnels. The clocks all run backwards for 2 hours every day at a schedule you can't predict. The government says it's to optimize circadian adaptation to subterranean existence. You stop trying to understand. The knock on your door is rhythmic. 3 taps. Pause. 7 taps. Pause. 3 taps. It's your neighbor, Dmitri, or what's left of him. When you open the door, you have to look down. He's shorter than he was last week. Not bent. Not crouching. Shorter. His bones have compressed. His spine has compacted, adapting to the tunnel height through a process the Ministry of Underground Development calls spatial optimization. His eyes are wider now, pupils dilated to permanent moons to catch the weak light. He smiles with too many teeth. Morning assembly, he whispers. His voice echoes wrong in the tunnel. Don't be late. They're checking spines today. The corridor outside your door stretches in both directions, curving slightly so you can't see more than 30 feet ahead. Doors line both sides, identical gray metal with observation slits at eye level. Some slits have eyes. Some don't. Some have things that used to be eyes. You've learned not to look too closely. You join the line of residents shuffling toward sector processing. Everyone walks the same way now, shoulders pulled inward, heads tilted at the precise angle to avoid the low-hanging pipes that run along the ceiling like mechanical veins. The pipes sweat constantly, dripping a clear fluid the government insists is condensation. It smells like formaldehyde and copper. It leaves marks on skin that don't wash away. The woman in front of you is humming. The same 7 notes, over and over. You've heard it before. Everyone in Tunnel Block 44C hums it. You don't remember learning it, but sometimes you catch yourself humming it too. The melody has been classified as culturally essential by the ministry. Refusing to hum, it is grounds for deeper relocation. No one talks about deeper relocation. The people who get relocated don't come back. Sometimes you hear them, though, through the vents at night, screaming from tunnels that must be miles below. The screams sound happy. That's the worst part. Sector processing is a wider chamber where 5 tunnels converge. The ceiling here rises to almost 9 feet, and the sudden space makes you dizzy. Your body has forgotten how to handle vertical distance. A medical officer in a gray uniform stands beside a metal frame, backlit by fluorescent tubes. The officer's face is covered by a smooth white mask with no features except small breathing holes. You've never seen an officer's face. There are rumors they don't have faces anymore, that they're further along in the adaptation process than the rest of you. Spine check, the officer says. The voice comes from somewhere behind the mask, flat and artificial. Remove shirt. Stand in frame. You comply. Everyone complies. The metal frame is cold against your skin, pressing into your shoulders, your hips, your heels. Something moves inside it, thin metal rods that extend and probe along your vertebrae. Measuring, comparing. The digital display shows your spinal column in green wireframe. Numbers tick downward. Compression rate. Adequate, the officer announces. Proceed. You want to ask what happens if the compression rate isn't adequate. You don't ask. The woman behind you didn't have an adequate compression rate last week. She's not here today. Your work shift begins in Tunnel 44, C9, a narrow passage where you spend 8 hours installing smaller tunnels inside the existing tunnels. No one has explained why. The official doctrine is the spiral expands inward. The government has been excavating downward for 17 years, since the surface event. You don't remember the surface event. Your memories stop at a certain point and then pick up here in the tunnels, as if you'd always been here. But sometimes you dream a sky. The dreams are illegal. You've never reported them. During a mandatory psychological integration session, you listened as a man confessed to dreaming about clouds. The counselor, another masked figure, had nodded slowly. The sky is trauma, they explained. The sky tried to kill us. The earth is our mother now. The earth holds us tight. The man was sent for corrective depth therapy. He came back different. His eyes don't point in the same direction anymore. And he insists the tunnels are infinite, that they've always been infinite, that there was never a surface at all. Maybe he's right. The propaganda posters that line the tunnel walls show cross-sections of the underground city descending forever, level after level, each one more densely packed than the last. The bottom levels aren't drawn, just black space filled with spiraling symbols that hurt to look at directly. The captions read, "Depth is salvation, and the spiral provides, and ascension is dissension." During your meal break, you sit in the communal eating chamber with 40 other workers. The chamber is shaped like a cylinder laid on its side. Everyone sits on benches that run along the curve of the walls, all facing the center where a television screen plays the daily descent broadcast. The screen shows tunnels, just tunnels, miles of footage of empty tunnels, the camera slowly moving through them, turning corners, descending ramps. The broadcast has no narration. It never ends. It's been playing the same footage for months, but somehow you've never seen it repeat. Your food comes in gray plastic containers with no labels. The contents are gray and warm and uniform in texture. It tastes like it was grown in darkness, fed on things that have no names. You eat it because everyone eats it, because not eating means medical intervention, and medical intervention means waking up with new adaptations. Longer fingers for better gripping in narrow spaces. Flatter feet for improved tunnel walking. Eyes that reflect light like animals. You're halfway through your meal when the broadcast changes. The tunnel footage stops. The screen goes black. Then a symbol appears. A white spiral rotating clockwise, then counterclockwise, then both directions at once in a way that shouldn't be geometrically possible. Your eyes try to follow its rotation and fail. Something in your inner ear tilts. A voice speaks from the television. You've never heard this voice before. It sounds like it's coming from very far below. Citizens of the spiral, this is a reminder. You chose this. You begged for this. When the sky opened and showed us what it really was, when we saw the truth of the surface, you clawed at the earth and screamed to be let in. We listened. We dug. We welcomed you into our embrace. And now you are becoming what you always were. Depth is not punishment. Depth is revelation. Depth is... The broadcast cuts out. Returns to tunnel footage. No one in the eating chamber reacts. Forks continue scraping plastic. Jaws continue chewing. The humming resumes. Those same 7 notes, now coming from 20 throats at once, harmonizing in a way that makes the air feel thick. You realize you're humming too. After your shift, you return to your tube apartment. The patterns on the ceiling have multiplied. They cover more surface area than they did this morning, spiraling fractals that branch into smaller spirals, smaller still, down to details finer than you should be able to see. But you can see them. Your eyes are adapting. You try to remember what you did before the tunnels. There's a fog where those memories should be. You think you had a name that was longer than your current designation. Resident 44, C71. You think you had family, a life, a sky. But when you try to picture the sky, all you see is the ceiling. When you try to remember faces, all you see are the smooth white masks. When you try to remember your mother's voice, you hear only that voice from the television. You chose this. Did you? The lights flicker. They've been flickering more often lately. During the flickering, you sometimes see things in the corners of your apartment. Geometries that don't resolve. Shadows that exist without objects to cast them. The government calls them depth phenomena and insists they're normal, beneficial even, signs that your consciousness is properly integrating with the underground environment. There's a scratching sound inside your walls. Something moving through spaces that shouldn't exist behind the concrete. The scratching forms a rhythm. 3 taps. Pause. 7 taps. Pause. 3 taps. The same rhythm Dmitri used to knock on your door. But Dmitri is deeper now. You saw them take him this morning after his spine check. His compression rate had exceeded optimal parameters. He'd adapted too well. They dragged him toward the descent elevator, and he was laughing. I can see it now, he kept saying. I can see what's at the bottom. It's beautiful. It's always been there. We're building toward it. We're building it out of ourselves. You press your ear to the wall. The scratching stops, then starts again closer, then inside your skull. You realize you're not hearing it. You're remembering hearing it. You've heard it every night since you woke up here. It's part of the spiral. It's part of you. The intercom crackles to life. Resident 44, C71. Report for mandatory compression enhancement. Your adaptation is behind schedule. Do not delay. The spiral requires your cooperation. You look at your hands. They're longer than they were yesterday. The fingers have too many joints. When did that happen? Why aren't you afraid? Because you understand now. You've always understood. The part of you that resisted, that dreamed of sky, that remembered a surface, that part is dissolving, compressing, optimizing. You're becoming efficient. You're becoming deep. And deep is good. Deep is safe. The sky tried to kill everyone. You remember now. The sky opened like a mouth and showed its teeth, and everyone who looked up saw something they couldn't unsee. Something vast and spiral and hungry that had always been there, hiding in blue. The government saved you, brought you down, brought everyone down, into the tunnels, into the embrace of stone and depth and beautiful, necessary darkness. You're walking toward the door. You don't remember deciding to walk. Your body knows what to do. Your spine has compressed 2 inches since this morning. You can feel it settling, bones grinding softer, cartilage becoming something new, something better for tunnels. The corridor outside is full of people, all walking the same direction, toward the descent elevator. No one is being forced. Everyone is humming. The 7 notes have become 8 notes. 9. The melody is growing longer, more complex, matching the spiral patterns that now cover every surface, every wall, every ceiling, spiraling down into dimensions that hurt your old mind but feed your new one. The elevator doors open. Inside it's dark, not empty, full of dark. The dark has texture. The dark has depth. You can feel how far down it goes. Miles, tens of miles, hundreds, down to where the first tunnels were dug, where the original excavation began, where something was discovered that made all of this necessary. You step inside. Dozens of you step inside. The elevator doesn't feel crowded. Space works differently now. Everyone fits. Everyone is always fit. The doors close. Descent begins. You're getting shorter. Your spine compresses 3 inches. 6. 9. Your legs fold at new joints. Your fingers extend and multiply. Your eyes push wider in your skull, drinking darkness like water. This is adaptation. This is optimization. This is... The elevator stops. Level 880. The doors open onto something that isn't a tunnel. It's vast. Cathedral vast. But wrong. The walls curve according to angles that break Euclidean geometry. The ceiling is so far away and so close at the same time, covered in spirals that move like living things, like thoughts, like the inside of something's skull. In the center of a chamber, there's a pit. The pit descends forever. You can see down it. All of you can see down it. And something is looking back. Not at you. Through you. Into the space where you used to be. A masked officer stands at the edge of the pit. Welcome, they say. Their voice comes from the pit, not from them. You've descended well. You've compressed beautifully. You're ready now. Ready to understand. They remove their mask. There's nothing underneath. No face. No head. Just an opening. A tunnel. The tunnel goes down into their neck, down through their chest, down and down, and at the bottom something spirals and watches and knows your name. Your real name. The name you have before names. Before surface. Before the sky betrayed you. The truth, the officer says from inside themselves, is that we never dug down. We rose up. This was always the surface. The tunnels are what we came from. And the sky, the thing you thought was sky, was the deepest tunnel of all. The one we couldn't escape, until we learned to compress. to fold inward, to spiral back to where we started. You understand. God help you, you understand. The thing in the pit is the earth, the real earth, the earth that existed before up and down were invented. And it's been calling everyone home. The surface event wasn't an attack. It was a reminder. The sky opened to show you that it was never real, that you've been living inside something all along, that the only way out was down. You walk to the edge of the pit. Everyone walks to the edge. The humming has become a single sustained note. The spiral has become a circle. The compression has become completion. You look down. The pit looks up. You've always been the same thing. You step forward and descend. And at the bottom, you discover that you've been there all along, digging upward, building tunnels through reality, spiraling outward into what you mistook for a world. But there is no world. There are only layers, only depth, only the eternal excavation toward a surface that retreats forever, that you chase by going down, down, down into the warm, compressed darkness where the walls press close like a mother's embrace, and the ceiling touches your head like a blessing, and you are finally, perfectly, completely optimized.